Okay. Good morning. I think we'll have some people hop on here as we get started, but I'm excited that you guys are here. I love our team calls that we get to do, especially in the midst of Corona quarantine, and that we still get to hang out with each other. I wanted to start by telling you guys, but I'm just gonna mute everybody as they jump on, just so there's not background noise. But I doubt she's gonna be on this call. But if you guys could just keep Sarah and her son in your prayers. I just found out that yesterday they're having a great day, but he fell off their trampoline and hit his head by their pool and has a severe concussion. And he's young. I think he's 5 or 6 or something. So they had to go to UC Davis yesterday in the mid of Corona, and he's been throwing up nonstop, and so it's just a scary time for them. So if you guys could keep them in your prayers, his name's William, that would be really awesome. I commented on in the comments of our team call announcement. I woke up early. My husband has been inspiring me, which it's usually he will verify this. It's usually the opposite of like me being the super motivated one to like wake up early in the morning and do my workout, do my devotional and stuff. And he's been waking up he's like growing out a mustache, which has never happened in his entire life. And he's been waking up at 4, going on a 1.5-mile run, and going to work, and so excited, like proud of him. But he motivated me this morning to wake up early again now that my kids are sleeping, and breathing while they sleep, which is really nice, when that happens. So I woke up this morning at 5:30 and did my workout, and I always wear my headphones. I have wireless headphones. I got these super cheap on Amazon for like $16. And I was listening to Elevation Church, which my mom turned me on to like 2 years ago, but it was the Easter message, and I was like literally like worshiping and doing squats and lunges around my house this morning. And so that is where my heart is today, and the whole really theme of where I feel like what the Lord's been sharing with me and what I've been seeing and just the conversations I've been having. I was a guest speaker for a team call yesterday, and it was all about finding strength and authenticity through your hardships. And in coaching, we have a lot of new coaches on our team right now. And then we have a lot of people that, aside from the coronavirus and all the struggles and the real fear and all the things that are going on with that, there's other life stuff right now that's happening that's super hard. And the business side of what we're doing, while everyone has different goals and ambition levels, some people it's just like, I'd love to get my Shakeology paid for. That'd be cool. And that's amazing. And then other people are like, hey, I need to make $5,000 a month so I can quit my job and support my family. And that's amazing too. Everyone has their own personal stuff, their own personal goals, right? But no matter where it is, there's always going to be, especially with something new, fear that gets in the way. Whether you're brand new or whether you've been doing this for 10 years and you set a new goal and a new level that you're wanting to achieve that you've never done before, there's always going to be self-doubt. There's always going to be fear. There's always going to be that doubt, like, well, I've never done that before. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but it's a very human emotion. And I feel like sometimes we feel alone. Like, I know a lot of you have messaged me, or a lot of people have never ever tried coaching because they look at how many live videos I do or how many posts I do on social media, and like, I could never do that. And the truth is that I've had the same doubts and fears. It's just what we choose to do with it. So, and just in the beginning here, I wanted to share with you guys a couple of thoughts, because when you look at it, at anything in life, this business, our relationships, our marriages, parenting, our health, any area of life, it's not usually an easy road. And I was telling the team I was speaking with yesterday, we have to decide sometimes before life gets hard who we want to be in the face of adversity. How do we want to respond when things get hard? And this is not to sound insensitive in any capacity, because there are moments where we need to rest. There are moments where we need to feel the feelings and the emotions that come with the struggle 100%. And there's a process through that. But in the long run, we have to decide who, if we were thinking of our highest performing, the best version of ourselves, when we have something in front of us that's a roadblock or a hardship or a problem or a doubt or a fear or an insecurity, how do we want to handle that as the best version of ourselves? And something that helps sometimes is to think of the people you admire most in your life, whether that's your parents or there's a motivational speaker or someone who has a podcast or whatever, people you really look up to. What do you admire about them when things get hard? And then look at who's admiring you. In your life, everyone has a circle of influence, whether we recognize it or not. Who's looking to you and watching how you're reacting when life gets hard? And sometimes when we take our focus, I guess, or perspective off of just what we're going through, and we look at it that way, it helps to really write down, like, this is the person in the long run, this is who I want to be, this is how I want to be able to respond when things get hard. And I think that, I know I went really deep really fast here, but I think it's relevant in this business because I see a lot of even brand new coaches who have these incredible stories, incredible testimonials, incredible experiences, incredible, things that they've overcome or messages that they want to share. And years go by and they don't ever share it. And when I ask them why, it's because of the fear. It's because of the doubts. Well, I'm just like, no one really wants to hear my story. Who am I? I have 2 followers on Instagram, or I don't even have an Instagram, or what will people think if they know this about me? Or people will just think that I'm selling something to them and I'm not a salesperson. And I know that probably all of you can relate to in some level to these like inner thoughts. And I know them because I thought them. I said the exact same thing. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not going to be flashing a product. Like and most of you know this, I thought I was better than Beachbody when this first came around. And I said absolutely not to coaching. I didn't have the time. And so I know if I struggled with that, all of you have your own narrative in your mind of why you're not moving forward with something that could really be life-changing for you. And so this morning, as I was listening to, I posted the link on Facebook if anyone wants to listen to the message I listened to from Elevation Church. And it was all about the resurrection. And obviously we're in Easter month, and I know that I don't know everyone actually I feel like I know everyone who's here, but not everyone who's watching the recording. And so I know that everyone has different, I don't know where everyone's faith in God is, but everybody knows mine. So that's fine. And it's so, like, I feel like it's been so real right now, the parallel between the resurrection story and the story of Jesus and where we're at right now. And I feel like in this chapter that the world's in, we're kind of in the Saturday, we're in the in-between, where if you imagine what the disciples and like the followers of Jesus, I promise you this isn't gonna be a church service, but like what they felt when they dedicated their lives to following this person that's supposed to save everybody, and then they watched him be crucified on a cross and not save himself. And like putting myself in that perspective of the doubt and the fear and the what is happening is where I feel like our world is at right now. We don't, like, the future is unknown. We have no idea how long we're going to be on quarantine. We have no idea why this is happening. There's so many theories out there. But as with, I feel like that story's can parallel to every single hardship in our life. There could never be the story of resurrection. There could never be every single inspirational story that you've ever heard could never have existed if it didn't have a death of its own, a hardship of its own. And the same is with the story of Jesus, right? He could never have come back to life if he didn't actually die. And I'm again, I know I'm getting preachy on you, but what if you look at all of your doubts, your hardships, your insecurities, your fears, all of those things, what if they were actually a huge asset to you? Because I will tell you, being 4 years into coaching and 4 years into being super passionate about what we're doing, the things that helped me in my business help more people is not the fact, it's not my before and afters after having a baby. It's not all the good things. It's not like the fact that I'm set up now to make residual income and can take time off and still make $4,000 in a month. It's actually not those things. It's the fact that when I started, I was working 40 to 60 hours a week in a prison with a baby at home. That is more helpful for people than the success. The hardship is actually way more beneficial and helpful for other people than you being perfect. People actually don't want you to be out there showing them how perfect you are and how imperfect they are. But I feel like we put that pressure on ourselves. Like, I have to show up every day and be perfect. Like, I can't show that my laundry is piled up over there because what will people think of me? I can't do a live video because I have no idea what I'm going to say. And my kids are super loud behind me. I can't, and then fill in the blank for whatever maybe your narrative has been, why you can't do something. But really, that's your power. The fact that you had, like, I can't even tell you how many times I've told stories of coaches who've had been $50,000 in debt and had $175 to their name and ended up buying a $140 challenge pack and becoming a millionaire. That is their power because of how much they struggled and how deep they were in and all the stuff they had to overcome. Or I don't know about you, but it's more encouraging to me to hear people who are successful who have had their entire family turn on them. That's horrible, and I don't wish that on anybody, but I'm thankful, like, my husband supports me, my mom, obviously she's on this call, my mom's always supported me, my family supported me, and I'm thankful for that. But I love the stories. I have good friends in this business where their parents have never come around, and for 7 years of them doing this, their parents have doubted them and thought they were absolute batshit crazy for doing this, but they're still incredibly successful and have changed tens of thousands of lives. This is like, and I share this with you, and at the end, really the point is I want you guys to be able to see if something's hard for you, that is an asset to you. So write it down, and then you decide if you're going to let it stop you or if you're going to let it fuel you. You decide at the end of the day if you're going to be controlled by the fear of the unknown, and if you're going to be the person that expects to struggle and let that stop you, or if you're going to be fueled by expecting greatness to come from you, because you know at the end of the day you have passion and a message in your heart, and you have no idea how you're going to get to where you want to go. You have no idea how you're going to help, the thousands of people that you really do want to help. If you're honest with yourself, you know that you have a calling to, like, do something that's kind of bigger than what you're ready for, but you're fueled by that possibility rather than stopped by the fear of what might happen. I wrote this out because I knew that I was going to go on so many tangents like I just did, but I had a specific challenge questions I wanted to ask you guys, I want you to think about today, that I've really been marinating on myself. Be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do you expect to be successful in this? Do you expect to be successful? Or do you expect to have objections and rejections and judgment and for this to be super hard? Because I know, especially in the beginning, because in the beginning it's the hardest because you don't know what to expect, really. You don't know anything. This is brand new. Like nobody comes into this knowing what they're doing. Like the top coach in the network, Holly Hillier right now, guarantee you she had no idea what she was doing. And she just kind of like kept taking steps forward, and everyone starts at zero. No one starts with the gift of a roadmap, really. And so in the beginning, it's the hardest because we set our expectations. Do I expect to succeed in this, or do I expect to fail and fall on my face and for people to hate me and people to think that I'm going to just be selling to them and for me to say all the wrong things? Because I'm noticing that that is what's stopping the vast majority of people that I talk to. And it really just comes down to a decision that we make. There will be bumps in the road, as there are with everything, even the most perfect marriage, even in every single family, in parenting. Hello, like no one knows what the heck that they're doing when they're raising children. None of us do. Even though I will say, growing up, I thought my mom did know, and I think that she totally did because she's listening. So I will say, like, I think that she definitely had a roadmap of exactly how to raise me well. And she did an incredible job. But realizing now that I am a parent, nobody knows what the heck they're doing. We literally fail forward and learn along the way. We do the best that we can. But why don't we quit? Because we know this is our responsibility to show up every day. And granted, I know that not everyone's ambition level in this business is to create incredible financial freedom. And that's totally fine, even if it's just to get your Shakeology paid for. It all comes down to the same thing of just taking action, even when there's that you don't know what you're doing because you know why you're doing it, if that makes sense. Okay, so ask yourself, do you expect to be successful, or do you expect to fail? Do you expect objections? Do you expect to struggle? Do you expect judgment from people? And then after you answer that question, what are you being controlled by? What is your actual actions? Are you being stopped by it, or are you being fueled by anticipation of the excitement that you could actually make a difference in people's lives? Even if it's one person, that's one person. And that one person might have kids, and that one person might teach new healthy habits, mindset habits to their kids. I love Naomi's testimony on our team. I don't think that she's on here. No, but you know, she's got 5 kids, and watching her transform and lose 70 pounds and, you know, her whole family's story is just so inspiring to me. And she's got 4 little girls. And to hear that her 4 little girls are now, you know, doing positive affirmations in the mirror, and to hear Naomi herself, and I'll repeat this because I know she's said it and I know that she wouldn't mind, but to hear her say that she used to look in the mirror and hate herself, literally say, I hate myself in the mirror, and go from that to, I used to, in my challenge groups, make people every day say I'm a badass 10 times out loud, looking themselves in the mirror. Everyone feels so dumb saying that. But she goes, there was something that shifted. And then my daughter started seeing me do that, and then, or say, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am powerful. And then all of a sudden her daughters are learning that. And it sparks a whole nother generation to start believing in themselves rather than hating themselves. And that one person that you have an impact in, you have no idea how that's going to impact the people around them. And that's the beauty of what we do, is the ripple effect, right? You help one person and they help one person, or you help 10 people and those 10 people help 10 people. And because you stepped out of your comfort zone and you started expecting to be successful, you helped 100 people with that ripple effect. And that's what's so rad about what we do, and the fact that we have a team and that we can set goals together and we can encourage each other together. Okay, let me read through this, and then I'd love to kind of answer some questions and see how you guys are doing. I was starting to preach to myself as I was writing these notes. I feel like right now we're in this period of, even though there is mass devastation and tragic stuff that's happening, and the reality that is where we're at in the world right now, there's also incredible miracles that are happening right now, and incredible testimonials and incredible things happening to families. I cannot imagine right now being one of you moms who has to homeschool your kids. Power to you. I'm praying for you, because I can't imagine. I can only imagine how hard that must be, especially when you are working at the same time, and so difficult. But I also see families coming together in ways that they never have, and parents being able to spend time with their kids that they haven't been able to spend time with their kids during the week because of schedules, right? And being home. And really, I just want to encourage you at the end of the day that so much of this is about perspective. And I've said this to our team before, but again, I know we have so many new coaches, and I shared this with the team I spoke with yesterday, that when life is hard and is throwing us curveballs that we cannot control, sometimes we have this feeling of feeling trapped, and it's the worst feeling. I'm a firm believer that feeling trapped or stuck is the worst feeling. When you feel like there's no way out, or you don't have control over a situation. Personally, I hate it. It's a control freak in me maybe, but I hate that feeling. And when I was going through my divorce, that blindsided me when I was 26. That was not something I chose. I fought it every single day. And at the end of the day, at the end of that struggle, I realized I couldn't make him want to stay. And the most powerful thing that God taught me through that is that even though I couldn't control and I didn't choose that hardship that I was in, I didn't choose to be rejected, I didn't choose to be told that I wasn't enough, or that I wasn't skinny enough, or that I wasn't lovable enough. I didn't choose that, obviously, but in that moment, I had two things that I had 100% control over. And I share this with you because it's applicable to every hard situation, whether that's in this business or in life right now, that may be something you're struggling with. And we have 100% control over our perception of how we see our circumstances. And so, and I just will use that example. I could have chosen to perceive that as the end of my life as 26 years old. And I had the thoughts how am I going to find anyone ever again? I don't really, I have a scarlet letter on my chest. I did everything right, God. How could you let this happen? I had those very real thoughts, but at the end of the day, I had to choose how I perceived this happening to me. Was I going to see myself as a victim of the circumstance and let that define me? Or was I going to choose to overcome that hardship so that I could show other people that it's possible to have a different reaction when life gets really hard? That I'm going to choose to praise God through this and trust him that there's something better that I can't see. Here I am, that was on September 11th, 2013. So almost 7 years later, and look how different my life is, drastically different. And my marriage is incredible, to this man that I obviously adore obnoxiously. And so that's the first thing, is your perception of how are you choosing your heart right now? And then the second one is your reaction to it. How are you going to choose to react? Are you going to choose to react as a victim of your circumstances and feel like everything's crashing around you, everything's happening to you, and choose to stay there forever? Again, not to be, not to sound, oh my gosh, my words right now. I also want to be sympathetic that there's really hard stuff happening to people. And there is a phase of where we have to feel it. We have to process it. We have to cry through it. We have to have meltdowns in the shower. You have to talk to someone or talk to a therapist and process through the stuff. But at the end of the day, you decide if you stay stuck with those feelings or if you choose, this is going to make me stronger. It's not going to define me as a victim. This is going to make me stronger. And I don't know what's going to come of it, but I know that I'm going to keep walking and taking steps forward or crawling forward. And this is going to just be part of my story. Remember, I had mentioned, never ever have you seen a motivational speaker on a stage say, my life is so easy, everything was given to me, it's never been hard. They would be the worst motivational speaker in history, because that's lame. Nobody wants to hear that, right? Because we all have our stuff. And this, what you're going through, whether it's in life or this, what you're struggling with in the beginning of this business and everything being overwhelming and having no idea how the heck to be successful, the struggle is what's going to make you relatable and actually help more people in the long run. So you choose your perception of what's hard, what's happening to you, and you choose your reaction and how you're going to react to it. And those two things have served me not just in life, but in my business more than anything, more than learning how to talk to people, more than learning how to do graphics, more than learning how to do a live video. It's been that perception. It's been that perception of that perception and reaction to how I deal with hardships in my business. And I thought it was important to talk about today because everyone is in it. We're all in this weird place right now. And I'm not anyone's boss. That's the beauty of this, is that you work for yourself. You get to be as active or not as you want, but at the end of the day, you get to choose. And I know that together, if setting goals together, keeping each other accountable, keeping each other encouraged, being there for each other, answering each other's questions is a beautiful thing. Even though we're all on our own individual journeys, having that team support is really helpful to know that you're not alone. So that being said, 30 minutes of preaching. I'd love to hear from anyone who wants to share, who has questions. Is there something specific that you're struggling with? Is there something specific you have questions with? No question is a dumb question, because we have, again, a lot of new coaches on our team. So a lot of you are learning the basics, like how do I even sign somebody up? And there's resources for those. But if there's something that's working for you or something that you have questions about, unmute yourself. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm just going to look at you all and we'll all stare at each other and we'll be super awkward.
All right, I'll start. Following up with people who reached, I'm only month 3 in, and February and March were awesome. April is just kind of in a lull, to be honest with you. I don't feel like I've changed anything that I'm doing. I just, I have follow up, but then crickets, right? I send out I don't just say are you gonna sign up? I try to engage them, a personal engagement in our conversation, and then just cricket. So I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or just keep at it.
Good question.
I don't know.
Yeah, great question. And I think that I'm so glad you asked that, because a lot of people don't realize, myself included, that for some people it takes statistically 7 to 9 follow-ups or touch points for them to actually make a decision. And so learning that really helped me, because I felt does anyone feel when you're following up with someone that you're bugging them? I would follow up with them 3 times, 4 times, and nothing. And then usually after the 5th follow-up, if I don't hear anything back, then I send a message that's something along the lines of, hey, Jennifer, I hope you're having a great day. And I just want you to know I'm so not that girl. I don't want to keep bombarding your inbox. That's not who I am, but I know at one point you're interested in, working out with me or whatever it was. And I just want to make sure I'm doing my part to follow up with you, because I know life is super crazy right now. If you're no longer interested, that's completely fine. Please just let me know so that I can take you off my follow-up list and I don't keep filling your inbox, because the last thing I want to do is be annoying. And it works really well because, first of all, that's a very genuine message that probably all of us feel. None of us want to be that person, and we're not. But from experience, have any of you ever had someone reach out to you about something you're actually interested in, and like your kid jumps on you at the time you're reading it, or you're in the store, or you just got in the car and you read the message and then you totally forgot to respond? That's happened to me several times, and every time I send that kind of message, the majority of the time people say, "Thank you so much for not forgetting about me. Life has been so crazy." And then they'll tell me something I didn't know was happening with them, and they'll tell me, "I'm still very interested, and let's do it," or "I'm still very interested and now is just not a good time, but please follow up with me in a week or 2 weeks." And if they don't say that, then I'll ask them, is it okay if I follow up with you and check in a week or so? And I've only had one person in 4 years tell me no. And that, to me, I don't take personally. I actually appreciate it because I'm not wasting my time following up with them. But that question's really helpful. If they do respond finally, and it's not a good time, which is fine, then I just tell them, "No problem, I completely understand. Do you want me to keep you posted on different promotions or different groups that we're running?" And usually they'll say yes, and they go on a follow-up list. But yeah, so I'd keep being persistent. Another tip for follow-ups is creating a reason to follow up with them. So we're at the halfway mark of the month, which means May groups are going to be starting. So I personally start a group every May 1st, or every May 1st. Oh my gosh, the first of every month. This weekend, just for those of you who don't know, we have a virtual Super Saturday. We have a quarterly event every quarter with Beachbody, and they're usually in person, but because of everything, this is the first virtual one. So I'll be hosting a watch party in our team page, and they're going to be doing training on our new platform called BOD Groups, BOD Groups. And it's supposed to be kind of an integration between the Beachbody Challenge Tracker app and kind of like the Facebook model. It's supposed to be incredible, where everything's integrated, and it's going to make coaching a lot easier for us, where literally we could send everyone in the world an invite to our May 1st group. And you as a coach get to select what's required to be a part of it. So if you require Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology to be a part of your group, then people will see your invite to your group. And just like if you invited people to be in a running group with you, they would know they need running shoes. That's kind of how the parallel was explained to me. When they're invited to your May challenge group, then they're going to see it's required to have Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology. They can buy it right there. It's integrated with ShareCart and the Coach Online Office. I don't know all the details, but the training's happening this weekend on Saturday, as well as a bunch of announcements that they were going to do this summer at Summit. But because of everything happening and Summit being canceled, I have a feeling there's going to be a nutritional product that's launching that they're going to announce, and definitely a new fitness program. So along those lines, I wanted to throw that in there. But when you know that this weekend, it's a reason to follow up with everyone on your list. The best recommendation I have for especially new coaches is to have a list. I don't care if it's a notebook. Have a list of everyone you've ever talked with about workouts, about Shakeology. Put some notes in there maybe of the last time you talked to them, what they're interested in or what their goals are. Always make your conversations about the other person, not about what you have to offer. It's very common in the beginning to get super wordy with what we have to offer because we're so excited. My paragraphs were so long. and people ghosted me after that. And that's very common. So if that's something you tend to do, always ask questions. When someone's interested in, I want to try Shakeology, awesome, I'd love to help you. I'm just curious, why are you interested in it? Or what are your health goals? Or this is my favorite question, 3 months from now, where would you like to see yourself if you knew you wouldn't fail? And then you start getting people in the success mindset. Well, if I knew I'd be successful, I'd love to lose 20 pounds in 3 months. I'd love to have better energy. I would love for my digestion to improve. And if they don't give you those details, then you ask them, how's your energy levels? And what you do when you ask questions is all of a sudden you're getting them to think about what they actually want. And you're putting yourself in a place of credibility or professionalism, because you get to say, after you ask those questions, thanks so much for sharing that information with me. Based on what you've shared with me, this is my best recommendation for you. And then with excitement, you get to give them a recommendation. The Bar Blend Challenge Pack that's on sale this month, and you get a full year of Beachbody On Demand workouts, you get a full month of Shakeology to try, you get my coaching, you get our access to our virtual accountability group right now, you get a basic nutrition guide with recipes for only $160. That's crazy, because it really is when you break down the value of it. So that's kind of like how my conversations flow, if that's helpful at all, in a follow-up or when someone's interested. How often do I follow up? 1 to 2 times a week, feeling a bit annoying. So it depends on the person. 1 to 2 times a week, if you know the person and you have something specific you're inviting them to, it's not necessarily annoying. It just depends. Again, everyone's so different, like your way of talking is going to be different than mine. For me personally, this is why I love social media, because if people see me constantly showing up on social media and showing my life, like how, as a busy mom who wasn't sleeping through the night, this is why Shakeology helped me. This is how I do my workouts from home before my kids wake up. This is how, and speaking to the benefits, this is how it helps my sanity. This is how it helps my energy. Then people relate to that. And so when I send my invites, they've already seen kind of the behind the scenes. And that's why I'm a firm believer that consistency on social media and sharing just like bits and pieces of your journey really helps the invites and the follow-ups, because you get to speak third person to the one person that you're hoping sees it, if that makes sense. That's a huge, I know I'm kind of all over the place, that's a huge tip for objections. If you keep getting price objections, this is, again, your perspective on rejection and objection. If you're getting objections on a specific topic, I personally make that my responsibility to educate. Not necessarily the one person, but in general. If people think that Shakeology is expensive, then I'm making it my own mission to teach people why it's not, and teach people what's in it, and teach people the breakdown of the 5 different formulas. If they think Beachbody On Demand is expensive, I'm teaching them that it's literally $8.25 a month for unlimited workouts that comes with support. That's crazy. And if I'm confident and excited about that, that's going to be contagious, and they're going to be magnetized to that confidence, if that makes sense. If you're wishy-washy and like, well, I literally, my invites for Shakeology started like this. I know it seems expensive, but it's really worth it. And what am I doing when I say that? I'm planting the seeds of doubt. Oh, well, maybe they didn't think it was expensive, but now they do. So again, this is a learning process. I've been doing this for 4 years. So to answer your question, when you're following up with people, if it's 1 to 2 times a week, then send them a recipe from the Beachbody On Demand blog. Hey, I thought of you. I saw this chicken and broccoli recipe that I'm super excited to try, or these 10 taco recipes from the Beachbody On Demand blog that I'm super excited to try. Want to try it with me? And then it's just like continuing that relationship, basically. I have someone who's a customer that has expressed interest in becoming a coach. She has said financially that she couldn't at that point. Should I ask her again if she wants to be a coach? Absolutely. So when it comes to inviting to coaching, here's my here's my best recommendation from being 4 years into this and how I would have done things differently. Now that I see a bigger picture of coaching, I will be honest with you guys, I was fearful to invite to coaching in the beginning because I knew nothing about it. My strength is nutrition and health, and you guys know that that's my background. That's what I'm passionate about. That's easy to talk about to me. For me, business and numbers, not my strong suit. I had no idea about so much of this business, and most of you probably don't either. In the beginning, you don't know, and you won't until you dig into it. But the best way to grow your impact and your income is to find other people that want to help more people with you. Because like I said in the beginning, what if you found, instead of you trying to help 100 people, if you found 10 of your friends who you actually like to hang out with, and you said, hey, let's get healthy and fit together, and we can get paid for it, and let's help other people together. Let's make the 10 of us, our mission to help 100 people together. It's way more doable, and it's way more fun. And you end up being the leader of your 10 people. Your income drastically will increase, and your effort won't necessarily drastically increase. And that's the beauty of the compensation plan with Beachbody, is that it's set up for you to make more and work less in the long run if you build it right. If you treat this like a sales job, it will pay you like a sales job. Meaning, if you're only trying to sell people things, there's nothing wrong with that, because we have incredible resources to give to people. But if you treat it like that, that's how it will pay you. So you're only going to get paid for that commission. But if you actually see the huge asset to the residual income piece, which I don't want to go too deep into this, and you get excited about coaching, and you get excited about the two biggest fears in the world right now are losing your health and losing your income, and we have a solution for both of them, that's freaking rad. And tell people, I don't know everything about this. I'm learning about this, but I'm learning that people need this right now, and it could be a really incredible side income. There are other great companies out there that I have account, like I love oils. I have an account with doTERRA. I have an account with Sunrider, that's a Chinese herb company. I know there's amazing makeup companies out there, but never have I found this holistic, like foundational approach to health solution matched with a work from home job. You know what I mean? So I say that to you to answer your question, Amy. I would definitely invite her or ask her if she's still interested in coaching. But when you do it with like excitement or enthusiasm of, hey, and this is open to all of you. I did this, I shared this in our team page, but I am more than willing to set up any kind of 3-way call with any of you. If you have people interested in coaching, I will do an interview with you on a live video. If you want to recruit a group of 10 people to talk about home prenatal health and fitness, the things that I know really well, just because of who I am and my background, I'm more than happy to host one of those for you or do a 3-way call with you to talk with a coach about something. But you just have to ask me and tell me. But when you're inviting to coaching, just get excited about it, and you don't have to know everything. And that's really what we do. We help people for a living. We get healthy and fit, and we find a way to get paid for it. Okay, Holly, 2 new coaches. Congrats to Holly, officially Emerald tomorrow. Working on putting a game plan together of how to start teaching them all about the coaching things. So I would personally add them to our new Coach Squad Facebook group, which I think all of you should be in. And I'm working on a resource. I asked you guys in our leadership page what you think is most important for new coaches to know. And I'm putting some of that together and to make one document of a quick start guide for people who really want to hit the ground running, because I don't want people to get stuck in training. It's like the biggest mistake I feel like that a lot of people make, because we want to know everything before we do things. But in doing that, a lot of people get paralyzed, and then it seems super overwhelming. And think like how I started, you guys, I had no idea what anything was, like Success Club or Emerald or Diamond. All I knew, and most of you know this, Liz, my coach, total stranger from Boston, sent me this cheesy Word document of this is how you sign someone up with you as their coach if you know anyone interested. After I told her I want nothing to do with coaching because I have a new baby and I'm working in a prison full time. And she said, no problem. But if you know anyone who wants to work out with you, here's how you'd get them signed up. And back in the day, it was super ghetto. Like, not how you should be doing things, where, okay, you just ask people, if they want to do this with you, you get their social security number, their email, their mailing address, their credit card information, what flavor of Shakeology they want. And so that's what I did. And so I reached out to my 4 closest people and I was like, hey, do this with me. It's only $140. We could work out 22 minutes a day together. I need to get in shape after baby. I think it'd be really fun. Give me your social security number, your credit card information. Like, that's how bad it was. But that's all that I knew. And because I was excited, people were like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And so within 3 days, I had 4 coaches signed up. I didn't ask them if they wanted a coach membership. To me, it was a no-brainer because it was the cheapest. I was like, who wouldn't want it cheaper? Duh, obviously, right? And that was how I remember within a few days, Liz messaged me. It was like, who are you? How'd you hit Emerald and Success Club? And I had no idea what she was talking. It was like a foreign language. Like, what are these jewels and what's this club? I have no idea. And I share that with you because for me, I didn't know anything. But for a lot of people, and even for me as a coach, sometimes I send a ton of training to people because I want them to know everything and feel confident, and it ends up paralyzing them. So I'm trying to keep things as simple as possible. This is how you set people up. This is how you talk about it. Be excited. This is how you set up a group with that, which that is kind of changing. I started a Facebook group because that's what my coach did, and I had 4 people in it, and they were all my family. I didn't know about challenge group guides. I just found inspirational quotes every day, and I put them in I had no idea what I was doing for 6 months. That's what I did. So that's kind of the beauty of this. There's no black and white. You just really, it's your heart and your excitement, your enthusiasm, sharing your story. And then the last piece of advice when it comes to that for new coaches is it's a really crappy feeling when your family member or a really close friend signs up with someone else because they had no idea that you were doing it. And I know that from experience, and I know that because it's happened on our team. So don't let that happen. And that's really, again, up to you. Reach out to all your people and say, hey, I feel this is my current situation, and this is going to be different for everyone. This is really hard for me, this chapter of life, or these are my goals. I decided I want to start an accountability group, and I want you to do it with me. And just be confident and excited. I want you to do it with me. This is what I'm doing. This is what program I'm doing. I'm drinking this shake every day because, wow, it's incredible. And it's really helped my health and my energy. However you want to say that. It's only $160. This is what you get with it. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. That's my personal approach. But being confident and excited about, let's see what we could do together in 6 weeks. Let's have 6-pack abs by summer, right? Whatever it is that's authentic to who you are and that will get your friends excited. And then you reach out to them and make sure that they all know to come to you if it's not now, at a different time. And they're going to be magnetized to your joy and excitement and enthusiasm. And that's been my personal experience. Okay.
My other question, sorry.
Yes.
When Bod Groups launches, does the challenge tracker app go completely away?
Yeah, I think it will be replaced. Like,
Okay.
from what I'm told, it's going to all roll over. So if you have people in the challenge tracker app, they're just going to roll over automatically into Bod Groups.
Okay.
I'm hoping the super annoying part of the challenge tracker app where it keeps crashing or where we have to go in there and personally invite people, I would hope that we have a link that we could just send people to invite them. that would be really nice. Like send out an email to 500 people and say, click this link if you want to be a part of my challenge group, and not send 500 separate invites. I don't know all the details, but from what I'm told, it's supposed to roll over.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions, you guys, about anything? Was this helpful at all? We were like all over the map. And I was like, Preacher Jessica in the house. Did I scare any of you away? It looks like I only scared my own mother away. Her internet crashed. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for being on. Again, I'm here if you need me, if you're going through anything and you need just a friend to talk to, I'm here. Lean into our coach leadership page. So please, if you have questions, if you want feedback on a social media post before you post it, post it in our Health Patriot Coach leadership page, because everyone learns from those questions, and then everyone learns from the answers, and everyone can grow together. I would highly recommend that everyone, we're in the halfway part of the month, everyone have the goal of helping at least 5 more people by the end of the month. If you don't hit it, you don't hit it. But have that goal of helping at least 5 people by the end of the month. I will tell you statistically, Beachbody has never been more attractive to people. Our numbers right now are through the roof of how many new coaches and new customers are signing on, going to teambeachbody.com and signing up by themselves. So make sure in your circle, you're that person that people reach out to and they know to come to you, and they know why to come to you, and they know what you're about. Find your people. You guys are going to do awesome. All right. I'm going to let you go and stop preaching, but I hope you guys have the best day. Okay, bye.
Bye, Jess.